So, Clive, when we gave this little baby to you, its belly was dragging on the ground. And anyway, you've given it a heart-lung transplant now with the suspension. Tell us what you've been up to.
Yeah, it was quite an interesting one. So I'm going to refer to some notes here because I've got a lot of numbers for you.
Yeah.
First thing we did, as we always do, is we weighed it front and rear to get our weight. And it only had a quarter of a tank of fuel in it, and it come in at 187 kilos, which matches up to what they're saying in the spec at 194 fully wet. Then I measured the sags, and what we had was at the front 50 mil of static sag, 78 mil of rider sag with a 95 kilo rider on it, and the rear was 50 at the rear and then 88 of rider sag. Now those numbers are out by about 28 mil. It should be around 60 for rider sag. So that explains why it was so low in the low while the belly was dragging so much. And I'm sure when you see the shot of it now, the way it sits, how much taller it actually is, and we'll be able to now use the full amount of suspension. So much so that I had to add 50 mil to the side stand to stop it leaning over so far that it wanted to fall over. There's a couple of interesting things about it. The first is it's running the KYB 43 mil fork, but you can have all sorts of internals in it. Now, when I got inside, I found that the cartridge is almost identical to a Tenere 700 cartridge.
Crazy.
So it looks just like that one. This is a Tenere 700 cartridge, set up the same way. The differences are this has got adjustment where these are non-adjustable. So the bottom looks like that, but without the little adjuster in it. The piston is identical in here, and the piston at the top is identical. It also has symmetrical dampening, so we've got rebound on both and compression on both. The differences in valving it was because we didn't have the bleeds, I had to change the valving up a bit to make sure that it was still comfortable.
If that's Rod Faggoter, I'm going to get really cranky.
So it was still comfortable on small bumps, but giving you the bottom end resistance that you were chasing. The other thing we noticed is that the springs in the front were only 4.7s, which explains from watching your video why the front would bottom so quickly and so easily, yet the rear had an 8.8 in it, which is pretty damn close to what it should be for a 95 kilo rider. The difference was how far it was wound down. Now this is the original shock, and I wound this adjuster from way up here to way down here, and I was able to get the correct static sag of about 16 mil and the correct rider sag of 60 mil with the original spring. I've nearly run completely out of thread doing it though. So if you're going to do an upgrade to this shock, I would suggest either putting a spacer on top of the spring if you're in the right weight range so that you have some adjustability, or you get a longer spring that's around the same rate. The other thing we did to get into this is we had to physically break into this shock. It is non-adjustable, non-rebuildable, so I've had to drill a hole in the side to get the gas out of it. It does have an internal floating piston, so there's a piston in the middle here, gas on this side, oil on this side, and again, the piston in it is exactly the same as a Tenere 700 piston. But again, no adjustment at the bottom, no adjustment at the top, so we had to valve it slightly differently to get the same sort of results that we were looking for. Now to get into it, drilling the hole, because there's almost no space anywhere around the top, I couldn't use a small recharge port. So we had to drill a monster 14 mil hole in the side and weld in an adjustable recharge port that we got off Technic. And then we sealed it all up, filled it all back full of oil and recharged it through this port, which is just a normal Schrader port. And then just last week, we reached out to our good friends at YSS Australia, and they got a shock put together for us, specifically set up for Clubby's height and weight. And we've managed to put that in here in time for you guys to get here.
Yeah. This
is a much better shock. It's a piggyback shock. It has a bladder in it, oil and gas in each side here, high speed adjustment, low speed adjustment for compression, and then rebound adjustment at the bottom. I expect this to ride much better, but it does come at a cost as opposed to just doing a rebuild, revalve of the stock one.
So what's the difference in cost between your modifying the original and the YSS?
This is a bit more expensive than just your normal revalve because we do have to break into it, weld it, and put an adapter in that we have to buy. So you're probably looking around about the $600 mark to do an upgrade to this.
Yeah.
The more revalve at the front's about standard, so it's around about the $480, $500 mark to do a front revalve. Then springs on top. And what we did do in the front is we put Tenere springs in it. 6.3 Tenere 700 spring. Now, let's refer to my notes again. We had to make a 33mm spacer to set it up to get the correct preload because the stock spring in this is slightly longer than a Tenere spring. But it gave us the result we're looking for. We've got the correct sags from it now, so that's all working. So yeah, I think the next thing is to get out and ride it, get some testing back and forth, and see if Clubby likes what we've done to it.
All right.